And police fear that Dorner could literally be anywhere. We are seeing a very frightening trend emerging. It seems thousands have voiced support for Dorner's cause and the sentiments of his highly lengthy manifesto, with one Facebook page posting, reading, quote, "I support Christopher Jordan Dorner." Now, that received more than 6,000 likes. Now, even more disturbing is the actions of folks like the Reverend Jesse Jackson. He posted a Facebook message that reads in part, "Dear Christopher Dorner, I understand your feelings of hurt and pain. I make this plea to you to stop spreading the pain, the hurt, and the fear. Please do not take any more lives. I will do whatever I can. I'll do without hesitation. Please contact me through Danny Blakewell at the LA Sentinel, or Bakewell." And then, not to be outdone, the troublemaker Charlie Sheen decided he'd insert himself into the story and also directly appealed to Dorner, releasing this personal video play. Watch this.
"Christopher Dorner, this is Charlie Sheen. You mentioned me in your manifesto, so thank you for your kind words. I am urging you to call me. Let's figure out together how to end this thing. Call me. I look forward to talking to you."
Thank you for your kind words. I look forward to talking to you. Does anybody think this is helping? Look, let's take a stroll down memory lane. Remember when Gabby Giffords was shot and several other innocent people were killed, and the press raced to condemn former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin because she had once produced a map with Democratic seats that were, quote, targeted? Remember how ABC News' Brian Ross falsely suggested that the Aurora, Colorado killing was from a member of the Tea Party? Now think about this. Imagine if Chris Dorner wrote a lengthy manifesto expressing support for, the NRA, for Mitt Romney, Michelle Bachmann. Imagine if she praised Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, the great one, Mark Levin. Dennis Prager is about to join us. The mainstream media would have a field day. They'd already be an active effort out there to end the careers of any conservative talk show host or Republican politician lauded by Dorner. Instead, the press, they're dutifully ignoring his praise for left-wing politicians and commentators. Now, understand here, I do not believe for a second that anybody should be blamed for this rampage, this murder, this madman, and what he does. But when you look at liberals and the media pack out there, and they choose cover, the double standard here is blinding, because if it's a conservative, they get the blame. And that's what's worth noting here. Here with reaction to this frightening trend and insight into the manhunt, former D.C. homicide detective Rod Wheeler, radio talk show host Dennis Prager. You think this is a good idea for Reverend Jackson and Charlie Sheen? I know they want to help. I'm sure they have the best of intentions. And the LAPD opened up his case again. They're saying that publicly. Is this a good idea?
Yeah. Let's make something very clear. Every murderer has grievances. Everyone. The one who murders his wife, the one who murders the neighbor, the one who holds up a bank. This idea that, well, he has grievances, let's take them seriously. If this catches on, I predict, and I never make predictions, Sean, I promise you there will be copycats. I'll get attention if I murder. No. Fantastic. People will take what I have to say seriously. They don't take me seriously when I'm not a murderer, but if I murder enough, people will really read what I have to say. There's a very big danger.
Rod, I agree with what Dennis is saying here. That is really dangerous, because now anybody has a grievance, I'll just, go out and kill people. I'll get all the attention I want. My case will be reopened. I'll have famous people, making appeals to me. Call me.
You're right, John. You're right, Sean. I know very well the intricacies of a police department, and I can honestly feel for Christopher Dorner and the way that he felt as though he was discriminated against on the police department. I get that. However, we do have procedures in place to address these types of issues, and for him to resort to violence, let me tell you, Martin Luther King once said, Sean, that violence does nothing but perpetuates more violence, and that's exactly what Christopher is doing here. I totally condemn what he has done, and I definitely hope he gets caught.
Yeah, me too. What about the double standard?
Oh, I wrote that in my column that comes out tomorrow. Almost exactly what you did. I just used a different analogy. Imagine somebody who feels that he was denied admission to a prestigious college because of affirmative action, and nobody listened to him, and he really was denied, or thinks he was denied admission. He had better grades than some minority kids, and he goes and murders the admissions officer and another admissions officer child and fiance. How much attention would the press give to the grievances in his manifesto of having been cheated? Zero.
Well, and there's also the double standard if he praised conservatives. As he did liberal media figures.
We would be responsible for all those. We're responsible when we have nothing to do with it. Paul Krugman of the New York Times said Jared Loughner The day it happened, he said Jared Loughner was a product of talk radio and conservative
They've been doing this for
Republicans.
years, going back to Tim McVeigh, Rod. They did this, blame Rush, blame talk radio, blame Bob Grant. You know,
Right.
I'm not going to do what they do because it doesn't make sense.
That's right.
But their
That's right,
silence
Sean.
is deafening here. The double standard is even more glaring.
Well, yeah, the double standard is glaring, and the fact is there should be a totally zero tolerance for any type of violence, such as the violence that Christopher Dorner is doing here. And I'll tell you, no matter who the person is, no matter what their political persuasion is, the tolerance level should be totally at zero, and this person does not need to be on the street.
All right, guys, good to see you both. Appreciate you being with us.